Godzilla, King of the Monsters releases the end of May, and so far we've already seen a list of Titans, who will be making their way in theaters. While there's always a chance the film will have a surprise kaiju in store for us, like Mechagodzilla, that'll never happen. Let's break down the various kaiju we've seen in the trailers so far. Topping the list is, of course, the star, Godzilla. While Godzilla is frequently seen as an ally to humans, fighting terrifying kaiju such as the other ones seen in the King of the Monsters trailer, that isn't always the case. And especially so in Godzilla's first appearance in the 1954 film titled Godzilla. That was kind of anticlimactic. Significantly, 1954 was only 9 years after the conclusion of World War II and the United States dropping its 2 atomic bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki in order to end the war. With the devastation and horror of these bombs on the minds of the Japanese people who had experienced them, much of the media in the wake of these tragic events was thematically influenced by them. The masterpiece of Akira, which first released in 1982, is one such well-known piece of media heavily influenced by atomic weaponry in Japan, with Studio Ghibli's 1988 release of Grave of the Fireflies being a more direct and obvious example. But another artistic expression to come in the wake of this was Godzilla. Producer Tomoyuki Tanaka says of the first film, "The theme of the film from the beginning was the terror of the bomb. Mankind had created the bomb, and now nature was going to take revenge on mankind." And what we see is how this is applied to Godzilla itself, with director Ishiro Honda stating, "If Godzilla had been a dinosaur or some other animal, he would have been killed by just one cannonball. But if we were equal to an atomic bomb, we wouldn't know what to do. So I took the characteristics of an atomic bomb and applied them to Godzilla." Godzilla is first awakened due to the testing of a hydrogen bomb. His rampage through Tokyo meant to represent the destruction of Hiroshima and Nagasaki from nuclear weaponry, and some survivors are even sick from radiation. After Godzilla is defeated, there's a final message that if nuclear weapons testing continues, another Godzilla is likely to rise. During the first set of films, Godzilla was regularly seen as an antagonist against humankind, with Godzilla either battling against the military or other monsters as it attempts to rampage across Japan. It wouldn't be until 1964's Ghidorah the Three-Headed Monster that Godzilla would end up helping save humankind. While he first emerges to fight the kaiju Rodan, all while devastating Japan, the two kaiju are convinced by Mothra to save the Earth by fighting against the larger threat of King Ghidorah. Throughout the rest of the original Showa period of films from 1954 to 1975, Godzilla evolves into an anti-hero helping mankind. Throughout what's considered to be the Heisei period of films created from 1984 to 1995, the continuity begins after the original Godzilla film, with Godzilla returning to being a general monster rampaging and causing destruction. Since then, Godzilla has continued to be brought back numerous times and in various forms, with the most recent major films being the 2014's Godzilla, 2016 Shin Godzilla, and the upcoming Godzilla King of the Monsters. With so many Godzilla films and adaptations into other mediums, his powers regularly change, but the most consistent of these are his great vitality, ability to regenerate, sheer and utter strength due to his size, and of course, his signature radioactive beam. Unlike many of the kaiju seen in the Godzilla films, Mothra stands out as one of the few who regularly plays the role of protector for island Japan and the world. In Mothra's first appearance in 1961, it was established that she had 2 tiny female human-like fairies who would interact with humans for her as an interpreter. Similar to Godzilla, atomic weaponry is the theme, with these priestesses wanting the Japanese to stop testing atomic weapons on their island. While the first film showcases Mothra causing rampant destruction to Japan, it's all due to the greedy Clark Nelson taking Mothra's priestesses hostage in order to exploit them for money. As soon as her priestesses are returned, Mothra leaves Japan for her native island. Afterwards, Mothra is regularly featured as a savior to Japan. In her next appearance in Mothra vs. Godzilla, Mothra battles against Godzilla to save Japan from his destruction, and upon her death, 2 of her baby larvae take up the battle, winning by encasing Godzilla in a cocoon. When King Ghidorah runs rampant, it's Mothra who first attempts to fight King Ghidorah and convinces the other kaiju of Godzilla and Rodan to help fight against Ghidorah. As one of the more popular kaiju, Mothra has made several appearances since then, with her roles ranging from fighting other major kaiju such as Dagara, saving the Earth from a meteorite, and warning the Earth of the incoming space Godzilla. While called Mothra, the creature has traditionally more so resembled a European peacock butterfly rather than a moth. While slightly smaller than Godzilla, it's still enormous and able to drag Godzilla by his tail. While Mothra's abilities were initially limited, she gained more over the course of various movies, including antenna beams and reflective scales that can reflect an opponent's attack right back at them. Mothra also has Mothra children, which hatch out of a giant egg and remain in a larva form until becoming a cocoon and transforming into her adult form. As a larva, they can spit out silk and encase enemies, such as Godzilla in a cocoon. The giant winged Rodan first appeared in his own standalone movie. His 1956 debut was just as imaginatively titled as Godzilla's. You guessed it, Rodan. The movie was produced in the wake of Godzilla's huge success and saw two Rodans, a male and a female, emerge from an underground cavern and rain destruction down upon the people of Japan. The success of that movie led to Rodan's introduction to the Godzilla series. Like the Big G himself, Rodan has appeared as both an ally and an enemy to the human race. He might not have taken top billing in 1964's Ghidorah, the three-headed monster, but he played a big role in helping Godzilla and Mothra fight Ghidorah. More appearances followed throughout the 60s, with Invasion of Astro Monsters teaming him with Godzilla on an alien planet and destroy all monsters fighting Ghidorah once more. In Japan, Rodan's name is in fact Rodan, the letters taken from the name of the dinosaur that he was based on, the Pteranodon. However, in the US it was changed to avoid confusion with radon, the name of a chemical element. Because as we all know, giant winged monsters and radioactive elements are easily confused. After many years away, Rodan returned to screens in 1993's Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla 2 and was transformed into the Flaming Fire Rodan in the 1997 TV show Godzilla Island. His final appearance to date in a Japanese movie came in 2004 with the epic Godzilla Final Wars, which was released to celebrate the 50th anniversary of the franchise and featured pretty much every kaiju that Godzilla ever fought. Rodan might have never had another starring role since his first movie, but with his incredible speed and devastating sonic roar, he's one of the best and baddest kaiju around. The terrifying three-headed King Ghidorah has been one of Godzilla's biggest foes since his movie debut in 1964. This three-headed, two-tailed winged dragon first appeared in Ghidorah, the Three-Headed Monster, which was the fifth movie in Toho's Godzilla series. Like King of the Monsters, it also featured Mothra and Rodan, and introduced Ghidorah as a destructive creature from space who had most recently caused chaos on Venus before heading to Earth. Ghidorah's origins have actually varied throughout the 5 decades he's been with us. In the 1991 movie Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah, he was given a backstory more like Godzilla himself. A terrorist organization determined to stop Japan's economic power used nuclear power to fuse 3 smaller genetically created monsters into one three-headed beast. 7 years later, Rebirth of Mothra 3 portrayed Ghidorah as an alien invader who first came to Earth millions of years ago and wiped out the dinosaurs. Whoops! But the 21st century Ghidorah is an ancient earthbound creature once more, and in the wonderfully titled Godzilla, Mothra, and King Ghidorah, Giant Monsters All-Out Attack. He's imprisoned in Mount Fuji and reawakened to fight Godzilla. He also made an appearance in last year's trilogy of Godzilla anime movies, where he's portrayed as a glowing energy beast. With so many origin stories, Ghidorah's powers have obviously changed over the years. Flight and beams of destructive energy from his 3 mouths appear in all versions, but other powers include shooting lightning from his wings, creating protective energy fields, generating hurricanes, and regenerating parts of his body. And let's not forget the technological enhancements enjoyed by Mecha King Ghidorah. Are you excited for the upcoming Godzilla King of the Monsters? And which kaiju, titan, whatever, are you most looking forward to seeing on the big screen once again duking it out? Let us know in the comments below, and for a complete list of all the kaiju who appeared throughout the films, check out our gallery on GameSpot.com. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace.